Grain bins with 1 million bushels or more may have 2 panels of steel in several bottom rows. The gauge or thickness of the steel varies with the size of the bin. A step cut and alternate prying device may need to be employed. Knowing this in advance will save time and cause fewer problems during the operation. Draw the grain off evenly and as slow as possible during the operation. Communication is an important element while this is accomplished. The grain or other product must be removed to allow continuation of the flow. If this is not possible, due to the structural integrity of the bin being compromised, an alternate method must be used. This might involve removal of the product by a vacuum truck. Such a process needs to be done with great care and coordination to prevent a collapse of the funnel on the victim. Remember, for every action, there's a reaction. Once the rescuer reaches the victim, any necessary precautions can be taken, such as the installation of diversion walls to keep flowing grain away from the victim and the rescue personnel. Such diversion walls should be installed at a 45 to 60 degree angle and wide enough to divert the flow of the product around the work area. The rescuer must clear the product by hand away from the victim's airway and chest, ensuring the victim's airway is protected at all times. Many rescue personnel are now using new devices designed to protect the victim's airway, as well as isolate them and reduce our work area and relieve outside pressure on the victim. This is commonly referred to as a cofferdam or a rescue tube. This can be made of wood, plastic, or aluminum. Metal or hard plastic may cost $2,000 to $2,600, with lesser prices for other ones. Each has certain advantages and disadvantages. A rescue team should have access to all 3 types. Once the rescue tube is in place, with the first panel to protect the victim's airway, the grain or granular product can be removed to free the victim. This can be done by baling with cans, use of a shop vac or auger vacuum. Remove the product from the top, working downward, to prevent undermining the victim and causing deeper entrapment or engulfment. Before starting this operation, a marker should be placed 5 feet from the work area. It is important to monitor this marker. If the marker becomes visibly obscured, there is a great potential for a dust explosion. If visibility deteriorates, the operation may have to be stopped to address this issue. The rescue tube and baling may relieve enough pressure to enable the victim to assist in their own extrication by pulling up with their arms and stair-stepping vigorously until the victim is extracted. If the victim is unconscious or a stair-stepping method is not an option due to the condition of the victim, he must be completely dug out of the grain. At that point, they can be removed to a safe area. All engulfment and entrapment victims should be taken immediately to an emergency room and evaluated, since medical conditions can develop up to 72 hours after entrapment or engulfment. Entrapment in flowing grain or feed can quickly change from routine work in a grain bin to a life or death situation. Unfortunately, the statistics show a trend that must be reversed. In summary, if you work with grain, stay away from the flow and practice safe procedures for dealing with crusted grain. Always have a coworker nearby. If you are a first responder, know how to safely remove someone from the grain without injuring the victim and without jeopardizing your own safety. On behalf of the Safety and Technical Rescue Association, we appreciate your interest in creating a safer working environment within the grain industry.